Hey folks, I am at our property. I had to meet the well guy out here. We got bad weather all around us. Let me turn the camera around. Trying to do this so I don't get my fingers on the screen. Get a lot of lightning coming out of this one right here. And that one right. This one right here. Got rain all around us, so I'm gonna get it wet in a minute. Wanted to show you guys. You see all this junk is here? This is what's under the ground. I've been digging up with a tractor. We got so much we've got to get cleaned up here. But I wanted to show you something. Oh, that was lightning. I wanted to show you something. Deer tracks right here. This was from the previous owners. And we preserved it. We were careful not to hit it with the tractors. So we were clearing all of this. We're going to fence this area in right here. This was from the previous owners. Jake, also known as Bubba. It's kind of hard to read with all that. It's got mold, algae on it. There we go. Jake, also known as Bubba, from to December of 2000. Keep in peace, you old bloodhound. And that's concrete. They made that headstone out of concrete. But they buried their dog right here. And so this, we're gonna clear this up, clean it up nice and pretty, and gonna put a little fence around it, and this will remain. Old Jake is going to remain right there where he's at. We're not going to disturb him. Well, that stuff's coming in fast. I'll be getting rained on in a minute. Going to try to maybe share a couple of articles while we're here. Bunch of seeds from something down here growing. A bunch of sprouts. That's a big buck right there. Big boy. That's today because we had rain this morning. Guess he went back in. They got a trail that goes down right through there. This right here is going to be the road. The big oak right there, that's where the old road is. It goes straight back to the new property. That's where the shooting house is laid over on its side. It's right back through there. We're gonna connect this road. There's an old road about 20 feet past the end of this clearing right there. And it goes back and it connects to this other road. I'm just gonna widen it up and I'll take some of the 90-degree turns out to where it's a smooth curve, and this will be the road that we'll be using to access the other property. Let's see if we can set this camera up right quick and we will do some shares with the articles. I'm gonna do a couple of articles right quick. As long as I can keep the camera dry, we're good. All right, this one is titled, these are short articles, What Locals Have to Say About Yeti Creatures, the Myth and Science Behind It. Across the Himalayas, places are set aside to be used only for meditation and enlightenment. Ancient traditions and practices protect these places. Legend holds from Nepal to India to China that high in the mountains lives a creature that haunts the remote forests and fiercely guards these lands, long considered sacred and forbidden. Belief in this protector has kept thousands of acres of land pristine. The region around Mount Everest is such a place. from Sai Sima, Nepal. You couldn't look at the forest where the Yeti is said to live. It's so extraordinary, so mysterious, without believing that something was there. They seem haunted, ancient, and watchful. It is no coincidence that the legend of the Yeti withers when the forests are destroyed. The Yeti is like the spirit of the forest itself, transcendent, mystical, strange, and something that is more than natural, yet something real that lives and dies as part of nature. From Tingboche, Nepal. When a Rinpoche was asked about the legend of the Yeti and the Sherpa people, he replied, "The Yeti had come right down to the edge of the monastery. It was during the snowy season, and the Yeti just stared into the monastery compound for about a half hour while everyone stared back. The Yeti have poor eyesight. It is said the Yeti is mentioned in ancient Tibetan Tibetan texts, and that it was once commonly reported in the Kumjung area, but recent development and traffic have changed that. Few people ever spoke of seeing the Yeti these days." From Dingguaoshan, China. The monks find hairs of the Yeti high up in trees where it rubs itself. To indicate how high up, an older monk gestured to an eave line of a house about 9 feet above the ground. He described the hair as being streaky blonde-brown, but mentioned that it appeared bluish when held up to sunlight. The living Buddha described a recent sighting of the Yeti which appeared at the far edge of the meadow above the monastery in May last year, 2005, and again the following June. The young monks who are children were afraid, but older monks took great joy from this. It meant that the forest was pristine. The Yeti only appears when the forest is pure and undisturbed. Locals tell of the Yeti's physical descriptions. Yetis are often described as reddish-brown, sort of the color of an orangutan. Sherpas have reportedly pointed to pictures of orangutans as looking to them like the Yeti. Only in westernized versions is the Yeti white. In Nepal, the Yeti has long hair that drags behind it when it walks and stirs up dust in a cloud as it goes through the forest. The monks at Dingguaoshan Monastery in China describe the hair of the Yeti as radiating from its belly. That is, that the hair from the belly up grows upward, and hair from the belly down grows down. An older monk indicated the stride of the Yeti, which seemed to be about 5 to 6 feet, and the feet are long. They have a distinctive scream. Its high, whistling shriek is likened to the call of a large eagle. The detail is identical whether reported in western China or in the Nepalese Himalayas. In Nepal, this high keening sound is also described. When asked to imitate it, the Sherpas cried out, "Ai!" The Yeti, myth or scientific fact. The Yeti combines several strands of interest. As a potential real creature, it invites local speculation as to how it could exist. You need to mobilize knowledge of comparative anatomy, the adaptation and radiation of species, paleontology, and geography to weave a web of clues between the Yeti today and the ancestor it might have descended from 1,000,000 years ago. You have to understand enough mathematics to deduce the volume of food material a population of Yetis would need to exist and how many Yetis would be in that population to make it viable. You need to collate that with the cultural and geographic information about the people who surround the areas where the Yeti might exist and decide whether their impact on the environment leaves any real possibility for a Yeti. Then you could follow the legend itself and learn about ancient Tibetan culture prior to the conversion of Buddhism. Read the myths and oral traditions as they are written down to see how they are structured. If the Yeti myth is very similar to others, then perhaps the Yeti is only a story, imported from another tradition and readdressed in Tibetan style. There is more than one kind of Yeti. Each region has its own words for the mysterious hairy creatures of the forest. Some of these types of creatures are easily understood as something we might know, a bear or a hermit. Others as inexplicable. The versions, guys, I don't know why I'm having so many mistakes. I'm sorry. The versions are as numerous as the names, such as Yeti, Metai, Zutai, Yiren, Mugo, Migoi, Rakshasa, Shakpa, Drelmal, Benyankri, Benmanchi, Palmrung, and others. Eating tiny animals, frogs, and pikas is one of the particulars of the Yeti. It is said to hunt for pikas in high places, thus the footprints in the snow. Another report has the Yeti eating the hanging moss similar to Spanish moss that drapes the trees in the cold high forest of oak and rhododendron, reminding a person of the golden monkeys who eat lichens off the trees in winter. When a living Buddha was asked point blank what he thought the Yeti was, he replied that it was two things at once, a real animal and an immortal, a Chen Yen, a deity. The geology of the Himalayan mountain ranges. The Ice Ages left a light touch on the Himalayas, unlike the Rockies and the Alps, which are scraped clean of any life at all by glaciers. Every living thing we see in those mountains has only been living there since the end of the last Ice Age. Here in the eastern Himalayas, life has been evolving for millions of years, and that life was imported from two distinct continents, one tropical and one temperate, the ancient wedge of India and the huge mass of old Asia. The extreme depth and isolation of the valleys provides multiple habitats of new life forms of life to arise, as does the extreme change in elevation from the low, hot valleys to the icy mountaintops. Each valley and each slope is like an island, different from the next valley and so isolated by its landscape that it might as well be separated by miles of ocean. This isolation has not only allowed new forms of life to evolve, but it has protected ancient forms of life, prehistoric forms of life that had become extinct elsewhere, and allowed them to continue hidden there. And that's the end of that article. You guys, there are pictures with this article. There are a few pictures with it, and the pictures can be seen on Don Moore's YouTube channel, which I will provide the link in the description below this one. If you haven't checked out Don's channel, please do so. He is uploading videos containing the pictures of many of the articles that we have done in the past and many that we will be doing from this point forward. So please jump over and check him out. And if you haven't subscribed to him, please do so. That'll help him out, help him get his channel, up to par to where he can do live streams. And, YouTube has that threshold of 1,000 subscribers before you can go live. And if we can get him to where he can do the live streams, maybe we can get him to do some live shows out in beautiful areas that he goes to and he finds all these prints. Oops, sorry, I left my key on. Oh, I think the rain stopped. All right, this is titled Dark Goat Man Attacks in the Colorado Snow. The date of this event is unknown. The location is in the mountains of Colorado. And the information source for this article is eyewitness testimony. Though this encounter was short and sweet, it haunts me daily. I live in a very mountainous region in Colorado, and I love going hiking in the snow, no matter how much snow there may be. I've been a passionate hiker since I was a teenager. This one particular hike, the snow was falling hard, and usually that means it's time to hike back. And so that's what I did. This day though, as I turned to hike back to the open part of the trail, a figure stood before me. It was about 5 feet tall, with dark, messy fur, and it smelled of strong urine. It knocked me back. It resembled a dark mountain goat that was standing on its hind legs. I stared at it, bewildered, wondering if this thing had been following me this close the whole time, which freaked me out. In a matter of seconds, the creature huffed, grunted, and ran at me at an alarming speed, and it rammed its bent horns into my stomach. I feared for my life, and at that moment thought I was dying. Instead of continuing its attack or beating me to death, it simply stomped away in the snow, the same direction I had been heading before I had turned back to return. I picked myself up and ran away fast and promised myself to never tell anyone of this. It's an absurd story, but it did happen to me. In conclusion, this intelligent evil creature seems to love nothing more than tormenting people, as has been documented in countless encounters. It savors the fear it brings on us, and it could harm us if it really wanted to, and take our lives. But that seems to not be as much fun for it. However, a few encounters do have eyewitnesses who see a goat man who has kidnapped a child and is holding it in one hand. This usually coincides with a police report of a missing child. The numerous encounters where a goat man has waited till a young person was alone and then broken into the residence, usually by breaking a window or coming in through an unlocked door, is completely frightening. Then at times, it tries doorknobs to see if they are unlocked, or mimics voices of someone you know or have known to get you to open the locked door by demanding that you let it in. Are there times the goat man must be let in by a person before tragedy happens? Either way, this creature is out to torment people. And that's it on that article. I'm going to grab the camera and we'll walk down the road real quick for a second. And I'll just have a look. Haven't been back here in a while. I got a horse fly in my truck. Come on, go out. There you go. All right, I'm coming to grab the camera. And we're just going to walk down the road a little bit and see what we can find as far as tracks or anything of the sort. I'm not going to go far because I've got to get back. I've got things to do today. Another busy day. Hopefully the camera's still recording. The voice got quiet. I'm right here at the camera now. I don't know if you guys are able to hear. I'm wearing the wireless mic. Take this off the tree. Okay. It has gotten really quiet. Very creepy quiet. I'm wearing my old boots because my other ones are wet right now, so they're squeaking. I can hear a bird way back that direction. Tweeting. But it is dead quiet right here. This is creepy. mud fill in here, which it usually does anyway. The creek is that way. Runs across, not really parallel to me. Right down here it turns and it heads to the north. Oh, there's that. So I come across a year or two back. That little structural-like thing. I don't know what that is. Really strange, though. I'll walk up here a little further. Then I'll probably just turn around. It's like something's been sitting here hiding behind all this. Yeah, natural ambush spot for a deer walking down the road. Yeah, it feels weird in here. Look at all the little pine trees, the baby pines. They're all over. Out here, this whole road is covered in them. Those are sand pines. Got a trail right here, deer trail. I've got a camera back here that I have yet to find, and I've got one back there that I haven't found. Unless they've been taken. I got a bird back here whistling. I can hear the birds over there, but it's got a very strange stillness in here. I mean, there's nothing moving. Look how still everything is. I'm gonna go back. I just got the goosebumps. You ever had that feeling come over you that you're in danger? That's what I just got. I was listening to see if I could hear the wind blowing any leaves anywhere nearby, and I did not hear anything. I just, instead of hearing leaves move, I got a goosebumps. And a feeling of dread. No way to explain it. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go home. Last 2 days, well, 3 days now. No, I'm sorry, 2 days, yesterday and today. I went and I set up the pig trap over at our pig lease, and I baited it up, and I went back today and added some more corn to it and more bait, set the trigger. Had a raccoon trip it last night. I got him on camera, that's why I knew it was a raccoon, but hopefully here soon we'll have some pigs in it, and I'll be able to share that with you and show you guys the wild pigs, you know, when we go in there to get them. But I'm going to go ahead and add the clip of me putting the pen up. Ran into a few issues. I did not have my shovel or axe. I forgot to put them in my truck when I left, and so I could not put the trap in the trees where I wanted it because it wasn't level, and these 6-inch gaps under the bottom of it would allow the pig to get a snout under it and lift it up, or just fold the panels and escape. And so it's got to sit level. So I had to set it out in the open. I've still got to go back and add some more limbs to it for shade for when we do trap them. I'll be getting to them pretty quick. You know, if we end up trapping pigs tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, I'll get in there. They're not going to be in there, you know, for 24 hours. I don't want them to die from heat or lack of water. But anyhow, I will, the clips I'm fixing to share, a lot of it's in high speed. I filmed it time lapse in one picture every 4 or 5 seconds, so it's like super fast. And I'll add the events of yesterday, going to collect the camera, setting the trap up, and just all of that. But as far as articles, this is it for the articles. Guys, y'all have a wonderful afternoon. God bless you. I love you, and I'll absolutely see you soon. I'm going to get out of here. It doesn't feel very welcoming right now, so I'm going to go ahead and leave. But I'll see you guys soon. Be kind and be blessed in all you do. And if there's anything I can do for you, please send me an email, standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hey folks, I'll show you where I'm at. This is a cattle panel, 3 more there, or 2 more there, I'm sorry, and I already carried one back. I'm putting a hog trap up today. It's very, very hot. It's 99 right now. We do have rain coming. Praise the Lord Jesus. So I'm gonna set the I'm gonna start putting this trap together. And what I'm gonna do, because it is time consuming, I am going to set the camera up in here, and I am going to put it on time-lapse mode to where it'll take, you know, an hour's worth of footage and turn it into 5 minutes through the it takes like a picture every couple of seconds. I'm not sure the exact time frame. I'm gonna find somewhere I can put this camera up to where the sun's not gonna be on the lens. The sun's overhead, so we should be all right. But I'm gonna set it on the time lapse mode. It's going right here. It's gonna be right in the edge of this. It's gonna come out in this opening, and then I'll put a feeder up over here, and I'll show you what I did to the feeder so that you understand how it works. It is a mechanical feeder that slings corn out, but the way I'm setting it up, it'll drop 90% of the spin will drop it straight down. 10% will throw it toward the opening, which will be somewhere up in here. But let me get this set up, and we're going to be in fast forward from this point on until I get to where I can stop and talk to you and explain what I'm doing. Here we go. Well, the rain, the rain got me. It started, and I could hear it coming through the trees, coming toward me. It was just sprinkling right here, so I stopped recording and started taking the camera off the tripod, and the bottom fell out. It's raining. It is definitely raining. So I'm gonna sit here. I don't think my fan's gonna work. My fan's been going out in my truck. It'll start squealing in a minute. Maybe not. The other day it started squealing. I was warming the truck up so I could leave, get to work, and it squeals. It always squeals. So I was warming the truck up, and I went to open the gate, and I walked back, got in the truck, and the truck was filled with smoke. The wiring's, it's burning up. The motor's going in it. I got to get another blower motor. I got to figure out how to fix the security system in the truck, because I'll get a security light on the dash, on the instrument panel, and it will not start. Turn the key over, it'll crank up, and it'll rev up to speed and then stall out. So from the time I crank it to the time it dies is roughly 1.5 seconds. And it took me a little over an hour this morning to finally get it to crank. And so I was very late getting here, getting started. Got a yellow flying here biting me. But anyhow, I'm going to give it a little while for the rain to let up, and then I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to use 4 cattle panels. I might be able to get away with 3 of them. I'm going to see how that looks. If the trap's too small, then it has to be checked every single day. I'm going to move my Tacticam on the trap so that when there's pigs in it, I will know they're in it, and that way I can get to them before they run out of food and water and they start killing each other or dying from heat exhaustion. And if the trap's too small, they won't last much longer than a day and a half, 2 days, and they'll be killing themselves, killing each other, I'm sorry. But alright guys, be back with you in just a minute. There's a yellow fly. I can get him. Nope. Missed him again. Oh, I hate them things. They bite so hard. I'm gonna punch him. Oh. There he is. Got him that time. Alright. Be right back. It's coming down. Alright, the rain's let up. I'm gonna go and put the camera back on the tripod. The camera's waterproof. The only time it's not is when I have a microphone plugged into it, because you have to remove the waterproof side door to attach a microphone, and then it's no longer waterproof. See, the trap's going to be up in here where they have some shade up in there for protection from the sun. I was going to run it further back, but I wasn't able to get the tractor back over here to clear this out. Their trail's right there. So I'm going to put the door, I'm not sure. Probably have the door over here. Alright, I'm going to mount the camera back on the tripod, and I'll put it back on time lapse so that we're not using up so much time just recording the setup of this trap. All right, guys, change of plans. When I took my tools out of my truck to reorganize them, I did not put my axe or my shovel back in the truck, so I cannot cut through that ridge right there. And so the trap's that high off the ground, which means the pig will get his nose under it and he'll pull the T-post completely out of the ground, or he'll bend the trap and just go under it. It's got to be flush to the ground. So I've got to put it out in the open, and I'm going to take a lot of these trees that are down, and I'm going to lay them all around it and on top of it to provide a shade area. It's my only option right now. I'm not going to run all the way back home just to grab the shovel and the axe. But anyhow, here we go. All right, I've got to come back and add 3 more ties around each T-post with a wire. These uprights right here that go all the way around it, I'll add 3 more ties to them. I've still got to secure where the 2 sections are joined together, and I'm going to join them today, and I'll add the extra ties a little later. But I'm going to go ahead and get the feeder, get it over here, and I got to get it put together, filled up with corn, and set up. So I'm going to do that in high speed. Here we go again. I got everything set the way I want it. I got to come back and add ties. Just add a few extra ties for security. We got some really big pigs out here. What I'm doing now, I'm making my trigger. Normally, I would leave the trap in the open position and let the pigs come in and eat the corn and leave, and I give them a week to get comfortable with it, and then I'd set it. But I'm just going to set it. Guys, and the reason I'm doing that, I do not have the money to go and buy 5 or 6 bags of corn to get me through the initial phase of letting the pigs learn the trap and learn that it's safe. I just don't have time, and I ain't got the money for it. And so I'm going to go ahead and set it. I got 100 pounds I put out today. I put 84 pounds in the feeder. When you fill a 5-gallon bucket up with the dried corn, it'll hold 42 pounds. I did 2 full buckets and a little extra, probably 87 pounds, 86, 87 pounds. I put the rest on the ground right here, and I spread a little bit down the trail going to the road. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you what I'm doing. Let me move the camera where you can see, and I'm going to set this trigger. It'll go right here. I just got to cut it where I got 2 blunt ends so that it will grab and hold. I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with this or not. Try to notch it. Yeah, that kind of worked a little bit. Well, not really. Let me cut a little deeper. This is time consuming. Very, very time consuming. I'm just trying to get me a notch so that it will set on the bars of the wall. Just a little notch like that. And this end is going to be the same. I'm so hot. Golly, it's gotten hot out here. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's not cutting straight. Oh, there we go. It might. There we go. Alright, that may work. It's not a pretty notch, but it's somewhat of a notch. I don't think I got them straight. Last step, I'm gonna go over and get the Tacticam. I gotta put on my snake boots. I'm gonna go grab it. I'm gonna set it up over here so we can monitor the trap. And if you're wondering about this last stake that I put in right here, this is if we end up getting some big hogs that we are going to butcher. We take them out, so there's no suffering, and we do it quickly. And then I can open the gate, we could tie the gate up with this piece of strap, and then we can drag them out. We put this little kicker, get it up in here, right there. Just gotta be where, yeah, there it goes. It ain't gonna take much at all to knock this out. Not at all. And once they knock it out, this thing here closed. They can keep coming in, they just can't get back out because this panel here, it'll lay flat against this one, and so there won't be a lip they can grab to open it. But if there's other pigs, they can push right into it. That's the reason I extended this panel here out. It makes like a little hallway to funnel them in. I am worn out. I think I'm just gonna call it for now. Alright guys, let's go back here and get this. I brought the tractor right here. I pushed that big hump down that was there. I was going to open this path up, but it was there was a lot of stuff happening around me that day. Look at all the pig activity in here. Good gracious. I'm only getting one pig on camera though. He's a big one, but it's only one big boar. Real dominant boar. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in here and cut this. It's overgrown. Look at the footprints. It's got toes in it. That one right there. It's on the left. I can't tell about that other one. I have not been back here in a long time. Oh, this pig's been all over in here. All right. I do have my tin with me, so there's them rocks. Looks like something's been messing with them. I think they were stacked up when I found them the last time. I don't remember for sure, but it seems like they were stacked. All right, let's get back here and get the camera. Get out of here. It's late. Ooh, these mosquitoes are bad. Holy cow. Golly. And I have no spray. Oh. The trail's getting narrower. I haven't even been getting any more deer on this camera, but I haven't put feed out here, and it's been a long time, month and a half, I believe. God, the pig's got all that torn up out there. But he comes by every other day or so. Just one loner boar. He comes in, and right before he gets to the camera, he turns to the left. So he should have him trailed deep down in there by now. God, these bugs, holy cow. Spider. I'm not a fan of spiders, you guys. Nope, nope, nope. This looks like it's been flooded out here. It's been we had all that rain about a month ago, and I couldn't get out here. It was just too much water. If I had bigger tires on my truck, I probably could. Higher lift, maybe. There's a pig droppings there and there. That's a big one, big boy. That's that one I'm getting on camera, probably. I'll show you where he's going in. Maybe, he's got a trail. Maybe. But he comes all the way up. He's traveling on that other side right there. There's my camera. Comes all the way up and he cuts in somewhere right here. Alright. I'm going to turn this camera off. Oh, something's knocked my antenna down. Okay. Is it locked? Come on. Oh, these bugs quit biting me. Crud. There it goes. Alright, I've got a... Okay, I know what I can do. Because I'm not using this camera mount over there. I'm going to put it on the tree. Save my tie. So, let's see. I'll tell you what, this little battery thing, boy, that thing's turned out nice. I like it. It's still showing 100%. And my other Tacticam, I went and replaced the batteries in it after I put this little battery pack together, and the other one's at 80% now. This one's still showing 100%. So that's a good thing. I've got to unscrew it. Oh, these bugs, good gracious. They are eating me alive. There it goes. It's got that big auger right there. Okay, let's get out of here. I was gonna go get that other camera too, but these bugs are doing bad things to me. I think they're having special relations on my back and my neck. Whew. Golly Moses. Okay. I'm gonna put this camera up, get it fired up, make sure it's linked with my phone again, and then I'm leaving. This down here's got a bad vibe. I mean, right now it's just got a really bad vibe to it. Sorry about the gurgling sound, a little sloshing sound if you guys are hearing it. That's my stomach. I drank 32 ounces of water and about 3/4 of a 32-ounce Gatorade. Dehydrated. Now it's sloshing real hard in my stomach. I can feel it. Yeah, it doesn't feel right back here at all. Wanted to just throw it out there. If any of you are somewhat close to the panhandle of Florida and you think you might like some wild pig, send me an email. We're going to be trapping them, and if we ain't got room to put them and we can't find people to take them, then we're just going to release them. We're not going to kill them just because. So if any of you are interested in some wild pig meat, I mean, we can hook you up with a whole pig. Just send me an email, let me know. standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. Alright, that didn't take long. Alright guys, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to run down and set this thing up on the tree by the pig trap. Well guys, I am hot. I'm done. I'm tired. I've been here for most of the day. And setting up pig traps is always best to have, 2 people, 3 people. That's the camera I almost ran into a little while ago. You can see where my tracks are. I backed up in there and I pulled forward, and the sun hit me in the eyes. As soon as I got in the shade, my bumper was like right here. I was really close to it. That's my stepson's camera. He's got him a spot back here that he's picked out. He's gonna try to hunt. There's a barefoot footprint, a human-like footprint. That's hard to say. Bear footprint. Is that a bear? The animal bear footprint? Or is it a barefoot footprint? Barefoot footprint. This is the pig trail. Oh, this trail right there. Wow. That goes way back up in there. Look at that. I haven't seen that one before. Just gonna walk over here and look. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Something back there moving. Sounds like pigs. They make a lot of noise like that when you hear them. That's the trail where them big pigs were. That's where I went back there during a live stream not too long ago. Alright, I'm not going to go any further back. I'm a little... just got an uneasy feeling. Yeah, I'm not going to go no more. I'm going to just get back to the truck. Well, I made it 50 yards. Anyhow, I'm going to get home. I just, to give you guys an update on what's going on. I have been just exceptionally busy. We didn't even get to celebrate Independence Day. We got to go for a four-wheeler ride, and once we got back a little ways down the trail, I realized that I left the camera sitting in the back seat of the truck, and so I didn't get to film, unfortunately. But that happens sometimes. But we've been going non-stop, trying to get everything in order so that we can get the new trailer house put at the property. And it's finally moving forward. Praise God. It's been a long process. And I was getting discouraged, pretty discouraged over it. The process to get a home these days is ridiculous. It's not like it was 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. They want you to provide information to them. A lot of it, I do not know how it pertains to a loan. But anyway, it's the time we live in until the big boss returns and straightens this wacky world up. It's just the world that we live in. But guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Didn't mean to drag it out. This is the end of the video. I love you all. God bless you. I'm gonna throw the camera up right here just for the ride out to the gate. But I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening. Be blessed in all you do. And hopefully I'll see you in the chat here real soon. Bye-bye.